Geez, this is the last time I allow them to convince me to come out here in my get-up. My feet are killing me. Okay, focus up, Yuno. Just have a little bit further to go until we find... What was it again? Right. They wanted me to check on the temple. Okay, I just have to go a little bit further, I think. It's just a little bit more up the mountain, but... Huh? What's that over there? Is that what I think it is? Are you a human? Hey, are you listening? Oh, I really hope you're not unconscious. I don't think I know how to handle that. Come on, you can't sleep here. It's really dangerous for humans, you know. Oh, thank goodness. You're actually awake. Okay, good. How exactly did you end up here? Do you know? I have to say, I'm a little bit worried. It's not really normal for humans to end up on this side. I'm probably the closest thing to a human you're going to meet here. Trying to cross the border. The border to... Onigashima? So you were trying to get here? That's... worrying. We're supposed to have guards that prevent any humans from coming in. I remember getting hit by a truck. What's a truck? I mean, I assume if you're getting hit by it, that must mean it's dangerous, right? You're not hurt anywhere, are you? I don't see any injuries on your person. So I think that's good. You think you were kidnapped? That's a bit of a leap in logic to make, but I suppose it's not out of the realm of possibility. There are plenty of yokai who quite enjoy playing pranks on humans like this. Okay, well, if that's the case, I'm going to try and get you out of here, okay? It's really not safe for a human. We have a long way to go, though. You're up pretty high in the Onigashima Mountains, so I really don't know why you ended up here of all places, but I'll do my best to get you down and we'll try and get you through the gate, okay? We should be able to get you back to the human world. I know this sounds kind of overwhelming and confusing, but you can trust me, okay? Like I said, I'm probably the closest thing to a human you're going to meet here. So, if you can trust anybody else, you can trust me, okay? Seriously, though, it's so irresponsible of those guards to even let someone else come through. They're really not supposed to be doing things like that. Much less allowing you to get into the mountains. How on earth would a human spawn up here in the first place? I don't really know what sus means, but... Sus. It sounds like suspicious? Are you suspicious of me? Oh, you know, you bring up a good point. It might be because I didn't mention my name. You can just call me Yuno. Is it dangerous for humans? Well, depending on who you encounter, yes. I'm only partially human, so I understand where you're coming from as a full human, and I also understand where the other yokai are coming from. We aren't particularly friendly towards humans. Humans are often afraid of us, and often go out of their way to try and persecute us. Onigashima is meant to be our safe haven, but it looks like there are some issues between the border that are going to be making it difficult. No, I'm not a Yuki Onna. Honestly, Yuki Onna wouldn't be able to thrive in a place like this anyway. If you were looking for a Yuki Onna, you'd probably have to go to the top of the mountains, where it's colder. That's usually where those sorts of demons end up. But okay, we have to start our trek down the mountain if we want to get you home before nighttime. Usually when it's nightfall, that's when a lot of the yokai tend to wake up and be the most active. That's part of the reason why I'm kind of mad that I'm up here in the first place. I don't do very well in sunlight. It makes me get a little bit more Oni-like, I guess. How many hours before darkness? We don't have a lot of time, honestly. Maybe only an hour or two at most. So we're gonna have to make this quick. Okay, let's start heading down. So, you're a human, right? I was human once too, but that was a really long time ago. I don't know what humans are like these days. I guess, maybe if you feel the need to make some sort of small talk, we could talk about our different cultures, maybe? How long ago? Honestly, I don't quite remember. But it's probably been hundreds of years at this point. Why did you choose to take away your humanity? Calling it a choice is a little bit of an assumption. I wouldn't say I chose it, but I didn't have any other options. I ended up here... This is a bit much to be talking about with a stranger, don't you think? But I guess... I don't really mind being that straightforward about it. I was banished here. I used to be a human, but I was banished here by my village as a sort of punishment for my actions. It's been so long that I can't entirely remember, the full story as to why I was banished. I just know that I was banished and I was left to be here. Yeah, hundreds. Only a couple hundreds, I think. But like I said, it's kind of hard for me to remember because I've been here for so long. That said, I'm sure the human world has changed a lot. I can tell just by your attire. I can't really figure out what it is you're wearing, actually. These colors and those materials look so different from what I used to see. You're definitely not wearing a kimono, that's for sure. Drip. Really? Is that what it's called? I thought drip was what water does. The whole thing is called a drip? So you have to put on drip. Interesting. I'm learning so much already. Is wearing a kimono every day tiring? Not really. I'm quite used to it. It's very comfortable for me. Be careful. Oh, we're close to a babbling brook, you know? There's a chance that we could end up running into something... Well, we could end up running into another yokai. Particularly, I know that there are some kappa that live in this area. Kappa are a bit difficult to come across, you know? You have to try and trick them if you want to get past them. And I don't really know if we have the time to convince a kappa to bow their head. Please don't wrestle them. You're just a human. Kappa can grow really big. They're quite intimidating. I wouldn't say they die, but it does cause them a lot of problems. If they were to bow, they wouldn't be able to stand back up right away. That's why you have to convince them to bow. Do they appreciate cucumbers? I'm not sure. Isn't that a way to trick them? By wrestling them? I don't think that's very wise. You are pretty bold for a human. Are you a renowned fighter where you come from? A powerful warrior? We've encountered strong human warriors before, and... I mean, they can be really scary. Dry... ice? I don't know what that is, so I assume the Kappa wouldn't know either. Dry ice. Ice is made of water, which is normally wet. I don't understand the idea of ice also being dry. Which way would be best away from the water, get down the mountain? Oh, that's easy. I know the way back down. We just have to make sure that we are cautious. There are plenty of other yokai in the forest, but I think as long as you're with me, you should be alright. Not that I'm the most intimidating Oni around, but I come from a clan that is known for being very formidable, so most people don't try to fight against us. I guess I kind of have their protection. But you'll be safe. I heard the sound of the birds is all. Can I fight them? No! You're a human! You are so small in comparison to a lot of the other Oni. Would this cause trouble for you? Not if we're secret about it. As long as we don't get up to any mischief that could lead to us getting reported back to my clan, I think we'll be okay. I'm really good at sneaking. You seem a little intimidating. Well, I guess you would be intimidated by meeting your first non-human. But I'm pretty close to humans, so there's nothing to be afraid of. There's Oni bigger than you? I'm probably the smallest Oni there is. I'm only a half Oni, you see, so I still hold on to a lot of my humanity, but part of me is also Oni. Do you ever get a chance to leave the mountain? Oh, of course I do. Our clan lives in the mountains, but we're allowed to leave the mountain and explore the rest of Onigashima as much as we want. We just can't leave Onigashima for the most part. The humans have all kind of banished us at this point. Very few Oni still remain in the human world. But yeah, I am one of the smallest. Can't you tell? I'm shorter than you. Did you have trains when you were human? I think I had heard of them, but I had never ridden one myself. There are exceptions? Special holidays, special events. Certain Oni are tied to certain beliefs that humans have, so sometimes they can be brought forth because of a human's very strong belief. Not all Oni are associated with bad things, but the ones that were associated with bad things led to there being a bit of a stigma towards Oni, which is why a lot of us would end up banished. Describe what a train is? It's a locomotive. It's like a big coal-powered train. It's made of, like, metal. It has seats inside of it. It can carry a lot of things. There are a lot of different cars attached to it. I don't know, something like that? Is it different now? I assume because so many years have passed that trains are different. But that's what I remember a train to be. I remember that they would output a lot of smoke. I would end up coughing like crazy whenever one went by. But I came from a pretty small village, so I didn't really get to experience trains very much. This way. We have to be a little bit more quiet. I can see another yokai circling above us in the sky. What do I do? I usually just do very simple tasks. They don't like to entrust me with a lot of the more dangerous ones because I can't fight. Usually I'm just sent out to gather materials. But I also read. I'm really good at reading. I'm probably the only one in my village that can read. So, whenever the Oni stumble upon things like new books, I am often assigned to read them and tell them what's being said. It's how we learn to do a lot of new things. Ah, you're familiar with the Tengu. Yeah. I think it's the Tengu. There's a big group of them that live in the forest here. I think it's because their shrine is nearby. We're kind of sneaking into their territory, so we have to be as stealthy as we can. So just follow my lead, okay? Ugh. Gosh, walking in these geta is really difficult, especially as we get into the more into like the thicket. Ugh. Are they usually aggressive? Yes. Especially if you stumble into their territory. They're very protective like that. Honestly, a lot of the clans of yokai that live on Onigashima can be quite territorial. We have so little land as is. Onigashima itself isn't the biggest island in the world, you know? Since we have so little territory between all of us as it is now, the territory that we do have, everyone is very protective over it. There are a lot of fights between a bunch of different yokai for the different kinds of land. What's your favorite genre of literature? At this point, I just like reading anything. I love all kinds of books. It's a nice little escape for a while, and I find reading to be a very quiet and soothing activity. Nin raid. I'm not really sure what you're talking about, but... welcome? I hope we don't encounter a ninja. Ninja are a little bit intimidating. Are your books printed? Yes. Well, they're printed in a really, probably in an old fashion compared to where you're from. Are they not printed where you're from? How else would you read them? They have to be printed on paper, right? Not anymore? Interesting. I never would have thought that. Fascinating. I wonder how you're able to read them then. Ninjas raiding Onigashima? I suppose it's possible, but I don't know about human ninjas. Yokai ninjas? Maybe not necessarily yokai. But I do know what a ninja is. I'm familiar with them from my past. And I know that ninja can be pretty scary. What's a Lunarian? I've never heard of that. I don't really know what a Lunarian is. From the moon? Oh! A moon person! I have heard of those before, but I've just never heard them called Lunarians. They have ninjas on the moon. Huh. I've only heard legends about the moon people. Mostly because they don't often descend to Earth because they think that Earth has, a lot of bad things about it. I don't know how they would end up in Onigashima either. Strange. Do you become more Oni-like over the centuries? Mm-mm. At least I don't think so. For me, the way that it works is I tend to get more Oni-like during the day, and then at night, I am a bit more human. That's why I'm kind of human right now. As it gets closer to nightfall, I can still present this way. But I'm still really small, even compared to the other Oni. Earth has cooties? What are cooties? Humans have such interesting words nowadays. I'm glad I can still understand your language, though. For the most part. Do you grow taller as an Oni or human? Definitely as an Oni. I mean, I'm currently the height that I was when I was still fully human. But becoming a half Oni didn't really help me out in height all that much. If I had been able to complete the transformation and become a full Oni, maybe I would have gotten a little bit taller. Have you considered teaching the Oni human language? They vaguely understand how to speak it, but since they're already really bad at reading and writing, I can't really teach them the written languages. So as good of an idea as that sounds, I don't think I can do it. Sounds odd. I could very well survive just fine if I was a bit taller. But unfortunately, the only way that I can get taller now is with my Geta. Just a little bit further now. Come on. You gotta keep the pace up a little bit. My horns do too count. You're starting to get rather cheeky for a human. You realize it would be pretty easy for me to just leave you here in the woods, right? I could walk you right into the center of Tengu territory and let them have their way with you. The bramble is a bit intimidating. I don't think the bramble is anything to be afraid of. It's just a little bit to navigate through. And at least for me, because my Geta are quite tall, it's a bit difficult for me to walk. Or you could yell and get us both in trouble. I see. Need to be carried then? What? No! Why would you carry me? That sounds silly. How am I supposed to guide you if you're carrying me? Embarrassing. Yeah, you don't want to find out what the Tengu would do. Like I said, they're quite aggressive. Mostly because they're territorial. We could always find a stick for you so you can balance better. I can balance fine. It's just, you know, difficult to walk sometimes. That's all there is to it. You're not carrying me! So embarrassing. Why would you even say something like that? No, don't carry me! Put me down! Why are you so stubborn? How much farther? We still have a little bit of a ways to go. For efficiency's sake, this is so patronizing. This is just like when the other Oni picked me up and carried me around like a sack of potatoes. The worst. But I guess this is a little bit better, if only because you're actually warm. Don't carry me for long, though, okay? It's only until we're out of the bramble. How do we negotiate at the gate? I would just tell you. I would just tell them that you ended up in here by mistake, and they would probably just let you out. They would listen to me, I think. Are Oni cold in general? A good majority of them, at least the ones in my clan. I know some other Oni can be warmer, more hot-blooded, but at least the ones in my clan, they're all very cold to the touch. So I guess there are worse things, but I still don't like this. Don't have to carry me. The path is that way. It's a bit more of a downward slope, so be careful. Also, if you drop me, it's so over for you. You don't have to give me your... jacket? It's called a jacket? I thought you said it was called a drip. You don't have to hand me your drip, it's okay. I'm not that cold. Are humans just like this in general? Do you always feel compelled to carry somebody down a mountain? It's very strange of you. I don't remember many humans treating me like that back where I was from. Only sometimes. Interesting. Human tradition. I don't know about that. Unless that tradition developed in the last, like, 200 years or so. That doesn't make any sense at all. I was raised to help others in need. Do you want to know more human traditions? I guess so. Now that I'm being carried and I'm just pointing out where we need to go next, I guess I need something to do to pass the time. I'm just curious how things are different from when I was still a human. I haven't really gotten to interact with anybody else from the human world in a really, really long time. So I wonder what being human is even like anymore. Oh, careful. There's a sharp turn. You gotta start heading in that direction, though. I think we're almost at the foot of the mountain, but we would still have a little bit of a walk until we actually got to the gates. We shouldn't be running into any other yokai besides Oni at this point. At least, I think so. The sun is starting to set, so there's a chance that we could run into others, but as of right now, I think we'll be okay. Something called the internet now. It's a series of tubes we use to waste time. How do you waste time using tubes? Do you just hit people over the head with them? Like you bonk them with the tube? I don't understand. Series of tubes. Bunch of connections with tubes. You can't run while carrying me. I would just be a hindrance, right? If you actually wanted to run, you should probably put me down. But there's a chance that we wouldn't be able to keep up with each other, so I guess we would have to hold hands or something. Should we prepare camp? No way! If you stay here through the night, then you're definitely gonna get got by one of the other yokai. We have to get you out of here before the sun sets. The less time you spend here, the better. Do any yokai stalk at night? More like most, if not all, yokai are most active at night. There are several who can move around during the day and it doesn't particularly bother them, but still. Yokai at night tend to have their powers a little bit more amplified. So it can be really dangerous. Yeah, just hold on to my hand so we don't get separated while we run. Okay? This way. We have to make our way towards the shore. I think once you reach the shore, the gate should materialize. The very edge of Onigashima, on the beach. Honestly, I haven't actually been to the beach since I was first banished. I washed up on the shore. But I guess because of the memories associated with being banished, I haven't really gone back since. I wonder if the beach is any different from how it used to be. Soft hand? You don't have to make comments on things like that. Jeez. Focus. It's not like it matters anyway. You can't stay here. And I'm sure once you leave, you're probably gonna forget all about this place. Let's go to the beach now. Yeah. That's where we have to go if you want to actually leave through the portal. You couldn't forget? Nice sentiment. But I think going through the gate would actually erase your memory of Onigashima. I don't think you would be allowed to remember this place. You have to have very specific permissions in order for the memory spell to not take effect. But because you're just a random human who stumbled in here, you're definitely gonna have your memory wiped. I just expected Oni hands to be more rough. Well, I'm half. I guess the human part of me made them soft or whatever. Can we take photos at least? I don't think we have a big camera. It also probably wouldn't be able to stand very well on the sand. And we wouldn't have the proper lighting. I don't know how to operate one of those cameras. I don't understand why you would want a picture in the first place. I don't think we could get it developed. I'm sure if you tried to take the film back with you, it would probably just develop and look like nothing. Would anything physical also disappear through the portal? Perhaps. There's a chance that it would. I don't really know, though. I've never seen a human try to leave with a physical item before. What is that small block that you're holding up? And why are you talking about cheese? Humans really are so weird. What are you thinking is going to happen here? A memento, huh? Let me think. Hold on. Stop walking for a sec. I think over here. Ah, perfect. Hold still. There. Now we kind of match. It's a bellflower. The bellflowers on Onigashima are kind of special. You see, at night, if they actually receive the light of the moon, they glow kind of like stars. If we want to test this theory of a physical item making it through the gate with you, then I think using this flower would probably be for the best. And it's the same kind of flower that I have on my tattoo. See? So now we can match. You get your own bellflower. I don't think you'll remember that we actually match. Honestly, I'm not even sure if you'll remember why you have the bellflower in the first place. But... Maybe if we're lucky, you'll be able to use that to remember a little bit. This feels so strange. I don't really know why someone would want a memento of me. In human tradition, we typically use jewelry made from rare stones. Oh, jewelry. I wear a bit of jewelry too. A lot of the stuff that I'm wearing right now are gold ornaments. Gold and emerald, of course. They do say that if you tie your memory to a physical item, it'll be easier to recall it. I really do hope that this works, if so. Okay, I think we're approaching the beach soon. This way. Pointy jewelry? I suppose it's kind of pointy. You just have to be very careful when you're handling it. It's also delicate. You'll surely see us again if we keep our memories. I guess that would be kinda nice. I'm not gonna hold my breath, though. In all honesty, you really shouldn't come back here. Onigashima is very, very dangerous. I don't really think that it's worth returning. And there's no guarantee that you would end up on this side again. I wouldn't want you to get into trouble with other Oni, or just generally into any kind of danger. I'm doing this to protect you. You wonder if there'll be a day where humans can visit Onigashima in peace? Never. Not all humans are nice like you. A lot of humans, well, they're the ones that chased us out in the first place. Why would we allow them to come to this place that is meant to be just for us? Humans were the ones that backed us into a corner. That sent us away because they thought that we were terrible, or cursed, or whatever else. Why should we allow the humans to come and go on our land? The one thing that we can finally claim as ours. It just doesn't make sense to me. For those who would want to see the good in yokai. I don't think humans like that exist. It's more like, even if they did exist, there's just too many dangers. Other yokai just aren't trusting. They wouldn't want to take the risk. I don't really have a lot of faith in any of that. Humans changed a lot since then. I find it hard to believe you. It sounds like a nice dream, but I'm not sure how true that really is. But it's still a nice thought. I'm grateful. But I guess if there were more humans like you in the world, it might be a little bit easier to believe that. But you're the first person that I've ever really met from the current time. I can't assume that all humans are just like you. That wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't be logical. Humans really are just such complex creatures. We yokai are the same, but I still worry about the dangers that would be presented to humans if they tried to force their way here. I just can't foresee it going well. Monster Girl is a really popular trend in the human world? What do you mean, trend? That doesn't really make sense either. You really do say such funny things. We are different, but in a way somewhat the same. From a human perspective, yokai are quite inflexible. I would agree with that. I feel that many of the yokai are very set and stubborn in their ways because of how many times humans have burned them. It's just not worth the risk in so many cases. I'm honestly still quite torn in a lot of ways myself. I'm not fully Oni, but I'm not fully human either. Most of the time, I feel like I'm torn between the two things. It can be really difficult to figure out where my loyalties really lie. I think since I've spent more of my time with the Oni, I feel like I sympathize more with the Oni and the other yokai. But I want to believe in the inherent good of humanity. So I guess that's the human side of me that's trying to fight against the more yokai side. It's really complicated. Maybe Yuno can be the bridge between the yokai and the human world? A bridge. But how would I do that? I don't have a way to connect with the rest of humanity. I can't leave Onigashima. You are your own person. I suppose I understand what you mean. Yokai live much longer and retain those memories, unlike humans who go through many generations already. That's true. Sometimes when I think about my human family, I have to assume that they're already long gone. It's a bit sad when I think about it like that. I'm sure you will find a way to connect to others even outside this land. I have a good feeling you will. I mean, it is kind of a secret dream of mine to be able to connect with others. I would really like for that to be possible someday. But that feels like it's a really long ways off. We probably shouldn't keep talking about this. I need to try and get you out of here. Maybe it's fate? Who knows? Maybe our souls really could be connected by fate. They're connected by the bellflower, at least. Alright, enough dilly-dallying. We need to get you moving. Okay. I think if you take this little rowboat, you should be able to get to the gate over there. You have the bellflowers, so they should know that you interacted with me. I'm one of the only Oni that actually involves themselves so directly with the bellflowers, so they should know that you have my blessing. You'll be safe once you go over there, I promise. Come with us? To the human world? No way. Is it one way permanently? Well, I can't say permanently, but it is one way. Once you go through the gate, after you get the permission from the guards, you're not going to be able to find that same gate again. So you won't be able to come back this way. But, considering you were able to stumble into Onigashima in the first place, there must be other portals that we don't know about, that we aren't able to monitor. So I can't really say it's permanent. You're saying there's other gates. There could be. I honestly don't know. I've only ever heard of this one, because it's the one that I came through, but there could be others. It's hard to say. I'm not really involved with that side of things. But maybe I should be a little bit more proactive when it comes to encouraging interactions between the Oni and the humans. You've been wonderful and caring despite these strange circumstances. Someone has to be, you know? Not many yokai are kind, but I always try my best to be a little bit more understanding of others. I hope you'll remember this too. Okay. I think you have everything you need now. Show them the bellflower when you're trying to leave through the gate, okay? I guess if you have any last words or whatever, you should bring it up now while you still can. Because there's a chance that we might not see each other again after this. Or if we do, we could be entirely different people, living entirely different lives. It is goodbye. but I know that for me at least, I'm not gonna forget about this. I've started thinking about a lot of new things thanks to you. For better or for worse. I hope that I'll actually be able to enact the changes that you believe that I can. A beautifully big forehead? Okay, no. You're leaving. Get out of here. Have a safe trip! Good luck back in the human world. I hope that we'll be able to reconnect someday.